How's it going? I have a website, it's called pointlesstraveler.com, and what we've got here is everything that we need to make an indestructible Polycro tent. Okay, it'll be 1 ounce per square yard, unrippable Polycro. That's also mirror. It's going to reflect up to 95% of the sun's heat, and it won't get any rips in it. Okay, so this is 1 foot wide hexayurt tape. It's got 1,800 feet of vinyl Polycro on there that's reinforced with fiberglass no-seam. Okay, a solvent can't be used to take the glue off of here because the fiberglass no-seam will come apart. So 2 pieces of it have to be laid one on top of the other, not facing in the same direction. So one is laid on in this direction and then the next is laid on in the opposite direction. What that does is it creates a grid that won't rip. So that fiberglass, it won't tear, okay? Then once that's done, a solvent also can't be used to remove the glue from this reflective Gila Platinum Polycro, because if a solvent is used, the aluminum reflective paint will also come off. So the glue and the paint are mixed together. If you use a solvent on it, it'll take the paint off and it'll damage your mirror Polycro. So basically all the glue that's on here, it needs to be used with the Polycro. And in order to glue the Gila Platinum onto the Indestructible Hexayurt Polycro, what I'm going to use is this Sailrite HH66 vinyl cement, and I'm actually going to melt the Gila Platinum onto the Indestructible Hexayurt Polycro. All right. Okay, so what I did at first was I cut out a nice 4x7 piece of Gila Platinum, and that's going to be the shape of my A-frame. Each side of the 3 sides of the tent will be that exact shape. And just for fun, I just want to show you how big it is in my hand. All right, so there's that one 4x7 side of the A-frame. This is like 2 mil Polycro right here. That's how big it is. This time I'm gonna put some HH66 in here with the paintbrush. Gonna paint it on my Indestructible Polycro, okay? And then just smack that down onto the Gila Platinum. So I'm taking the back off the Gila Platinum, and it's got some glue on there. Okay, I'm gonna see if the HH66 will cause the hexayurt tape that's indestructible to actually melt itself onto the Gila Platinum and see what happens there. Okay, now, so for whatever reason, the HH66 vinyl weld, it didn't work, okay? It didn't weld the vinyl together. Something's not vinyl. Either the Gila Platinum, it's not vinyl, or maybe the hexayurt tape, it's not vinyl. The hexayurt tape, it didn't weld together, okay, obviously. And the Gila Platinum didn't weld to it either. This stuff is only supposed to take 4 seconds to melt together, and it didn't. So, you know, this stuff, they say that it's vinyl, but it isn't. So, back to square one. Another problem. Not only does the HH66 not get the hexayurt tape and the Gila Platinum to stick together, but the hexayurt tape will actually peel off. It comes off the Gila Platinum. Okay, but on the sticky side, okay, this is the glue side, it will stick, okay? Sort of. So, you know, that's your only option. Basically what we've got here is we've got like 0.5, less than 1 ounce per square yard Polycro. Alright, we got the fiberglass reinforcement on one side, and we've got the reflective Gila Platinum. Okay, now this Gila Platinum, it reflects more body heat than any other Polycro. Alright, so if you sleep on top of this, it'll keep you warmer than any other Polycro. It reflects a lot of body heat back on top of you, and if you put it over you as a tarp, it blocks more of the sun's heat than anything else. Now, you can reinforce it with 1 layer of hexayurt tape. Now the problem with that is it rips this way, okay? It won't rip in one direction, but it will rip in the other direction. So if you get a hole in it, it can tear. All right. Now it is stronger than nothing. It's better than nothing. Okay, so for this next experiment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out a nice healthy piece of hexayurt tape on top of the Gila Platinum here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait like 48 hours for the glue to dry. I'm going to see if the acrylic glue that's on the hexayurt tape is powerful enough to attach itself to the Gila Platinum, and then we might be 1 step closer to getting a tough Polycro mirror tent, you know, that can protect somebody from the sun and from the elements, from the wind and the rain. and just let's give it one more try. Put the hexayer tape on top of the Gila Platinum. It was like putting a decal on a surfboard and there were little bubbles underneath it. But imagine trying to put a decal on top of another decal. So there were a lot of bubbles. I went around with a pin and I just popped all the bubbles, okay? And that kind of took care of it, and then waited like another 10 hours. And you know, eventually I got a hold of this, you know, really thin material. This is a nice material. It will rip, but it could be made into a vest to put on top of a base layer. It reflects more body heat than anything else. So this is actually a good material that has some uses. It's about the same strength as 1/3 ounce Cuban fiber. It will rip, but it's usable. All right, so let's just see how easy it punctures, okay? It doesn't puncture very easy. Let's see. It won't puncture. All right. It doesn't puncture really easy. Now let's see how easy it rips. Okay. Okay, it rips pretty easy. All right, so there it is. Okay, so now what I did was I took some orange peel. This is a natural solvent that you can use in your room. And I massaged it into this cut corner here with the Gila Platinum on one side, hexayer on the other, and it wouldn't come apart. But at the ripped edge, where it's ripped, I was able to work the orange peel solvent in there. And it started to come apart, and as you can see, okay, I can pull it, and the glue will come apart. It makes a sticky mess, okay? So the acrylic glue, this is after 24 hours. It's still kind of damp. It's still wet, okay? So the Gila Platinum is vinyl. It doesn't breathe. It prevents the glue from drying. So is the hexayer tape. The hexayer tape is vinyl. It prevents the glue from drying. The glue will stay wet, and it comes apart, okay? So there's that, okay? With a little bit of solvent, if you get it in the right spot, it can come apart. If you only use one layer of hexayer tape, it can rip. You've got to use 2 layers of hexayer tape to prevent it from ripping. And then it can still come unglued. It is possible to get this thing to come unglued. Okay, so this time, all right, I got my hexayer tape and I've got 3M 90 strength adhesive spray. I got my Polycro here, that's Gila Platinum on one side and hexayer on the other side. Okay, I need to add another layer of hexayer this direction in order to make it indestructible so that it won't rip. But the issue is that the hexayer tape, of course, will peel right off of here because it's made of the same material and it's designed that way. It's designed to peel off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the 3M 90 strength adhesive directly on here, okay? And what that will do is it'll create a texture where the 3M 90 will stick to the hexayer tape. Make it sticky. I'm going to let it dry, and then it won't be slippery anymore. It'll be sticky. And then once this material is sticky, I can lay another layer of hexayer tape on there. So it'll be 2 layers of hexayer tape and 1 layer of Gila Platinum. Reflective on the outside, Gila Platinum reflects a lot of the sun's heat, almost 95% of the sun's heat on one side. Totally indestructible, and it won't tear on the other side. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, so here we go. This stuff totally stinks. It'll make your room stink for about a couple hours. I'm going to spray it on there. I'm going to wait 10 minutes and let it dry. Spray it again. I'm going to spray it like twice. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so as you can see, it kind of comes out as like string cheese. Alright, I'm going to wait a while and let that dry, you know, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, to be honest with you, I really don't think that this is going to work. I think that that foam is going to come off the material. So, you know, you can see here that this is kind of like a foam. And it did dry on there, but it's kind of rubbery. I think it's going to peel off. But I'm gonna spray it one more time. I'm gonna put another layer on there and let that dry for about 10 minutes, okay? So here we go. All right. So this is for the experiment, okay? That's quite a generous proportion of it, okay? And I'm gonna wait another 10-20 minutes and see if that thing dries, and then I'll lay another I'll lay another piece of hexayer tape on there, okay? Okay, so I waited a couple hours, and now what I've got is I've got this material. It's nice and dry. Okay, it's got this texture on there. It's not the flattest, you know, most compressible material. It's kind of spongy. Okay, it's got some thickness to it. But anyway, I'm going to carefully put a second piece of hexayer tape across here. It's actually a pretty big surface area. I actually don't have this whole corner covered with glue. It's bigger than I thought. But anyway, I'll put a second layer on there and then cut it out and see how durable it is. All right, so right away I'm finding a problem with this. Watch this. There's not as much glue here as there is here. And I'm finding that the tape is peeling off pretty easy. You need a lot of this glue in order to get it to stick. So let's just peel it off a little. All right, let's see. All right, you see that? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right, so what we see here happening is this area where there's not as much glue, it came off pretty easy, okay? But this area over here where there's a little bit more glue, it's stuck pretty good. So there it is. Let's see. Okay, so I glued it. I sprayed some more glue on there, and now I'm going to glue it shut. I'm going to glue it down. Okay. Glue it. It's really wet and cold and sticky. Glue this thing together. Okay. Wait 10 minutes and try that again. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, and let me see if it'll come off this time. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't work at all. Spraying the 3M on there wet, it didn't dry. Okay, it's still wet and it comes off. It's very sticky and it makes a huge mess. Okay, so here's the bottom line, okay? If you want to put 3 layers of Polycro on top of each other, it's very difficult to do. I used 3M90. This is the strongest adhesive spray that's around. It's supposed to glue anything together that you want. You can glue glass to glass, anything. It didn't really work that great, okay? This stuff will come apart, as you can see. I glued it down the proper way, and it came off, okay? Now, yeah, I could use this, all right? But it is at risk of coming apart. You can see that it can be pulled apart. So you've got Gila Platinum on one side. That reflects almost 95% of your body heat if you lay on it, or it blocks almost 95% of the sun's heat if you lay under it. You can reinforce it with 1 layer of hexayer tape, all right, but that will still rip. If you want to make it indestructible and add a second layer of hexayer tape, that's perfectly fine and good, and it is. Here it is, okay? 2 layers of hexayer tape and 1 layer of Gila Platinum. The second layer of hexayer tape was put on there with the 3M90, all right? But it can come apart. It is possible to get this thing to completely come apart totally, okay? But, you know, yeah, it's sticky. It's plenty sticky. I mean, the thing, you know, more or less will stick together. But as far as this being like a foolproof plan that's like, you know, where nothing could possibly go wrong, that's definitely not the case, okay? And especially over time, you know, yeah, over time maybe this thing will stick together better, but then again, maybe over time this thing will totally fall apart. It's really kind of up in the air. It's just one of those mysteries that's on a case-by-case basis. So, okay, this is the end of my experimental review of Polycro, all right? This is Indestructible Reflective Polycro. More reflective than any other Polycro in the world, more indestructible than any other Polycro in the world. While it's wet, you know, it is kind of thick. The 3M, it adds a lot of thickness to the material. This is not really a compressible thin glue. I think that maybe the 3M 60 is a little bit better. You know, maybe it's not as thick. But anyway, here it is. That pretty much concludes my my review here. I have a website. It's called pointlesstraveler.com. Please check it out. Thanks. So here it is. Gila Platinum, the most reflective Polycro on earth. There it is in my hand. So small.